Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the season finale of the PC Specialist BRC Esports Invitational Series. We've been to Wales, we've been to Spain, Germany last time out. We now head to the hills, we head to Scotland for a very, very interesting final 4 stages. My name is Ben Bunell, and I'm joined once again in the virtual commentary booth by my amazing friend, Matt Cotton. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, BB. Glad to be back, and just as excited for the final round as I think I have been for every other round of the EBRC Invitational. Scotland is going to be a mega event as far as our guys are concerned. This is going to be wicked.
This is it. So, of course, we're turning the wick up to the very top now as the PC Specialist Esports Series heads into its final round. So again, thanks to our partners, you can take part as well. So you can take part in the EBRC, which is running side by side to this. More details at britishrallychampionship.co.uk. And if you use the code EBRC at our friends at pcspecialist.co.uk, you'll get some fantastic discounts off all the latest gaming gear to put you in pole position to give these stages a proper good attack. Now, James Morgan, 1-3 on the bounce, Matt. Can he do it here in Scotland?
It's going to be hard to bet against him, isn't it? You know, top of the standings on every single rally, top of the standings on the championship table as well. I didn't think he'd be there at all, I don't think. I think he was a surprise in Wales. But by the time we came round to Germany there a few weeks ago, I think it was a done deal for him. Will it be the same in Scotland? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out.
Absolutely. So James just needs a handful of points. He only really needs to finish to be able to be crowned champion. But of course, for mighty James Morgan, he will want more. He will want, of course, the clean sweep to get 4 wins on the bounce. But who can stop him? Can it be this man, James Williams? Can it be Matt Edwards, Richard Crozier, Josh McAlane, or perhaps someone else even who's been busy on the old Codemasters DiRT Rally 2.0 over the last couple of days? So here we go. Our running order will see Eamon Creedon lead us underway with William Crichton following him in hot pursuit. And as we have said on numerous times, you'll recognise these names, and we'll be getting quicker and quicker to some of the guys at the back end of the field. And of course, James Morgan will be last on the road as our championship leader. So here we go, Matt. Scotland, the gravel stages. Eamon Creedon will be getting us underway very shortly.
Yeah, I've not hidden the fact throughout this EBRC Invitational that I love seeing Eamon using this Peugeot 216. Fantastic bit of kit, sounds wicked, very different sound to the other R5s in the series as well. And I hope he does well here. He's great to have in the championship as well. A very good humour, and he loves this. He really does give it a good go. And I know he's probably got to head off to some hurling practice after this as well. So a bit of everything does Eamon.
He's a busy boy, and of course stage is now live. So here we go. At 1-minute intervals, our crews will be heading into this stage, and this, Matt, is a real tough opener. The eyes will no doubt be at the end of those stalks come the end of this stage.
I think you've been recce in these stages as much as I have, and they are not forgiving at all. Super fast. Imagine Germany in the woods. Less forgiving than Germany, in my opinion. Log piles, wrong slots, gravel, don't cut. There's absolutely everything in the last round of the EBRC. This could see some very big moments, some big accidents throughout tonight.
Absolutely, and of course, we're already a minute in, and William Crichton blasts off the line in a change of car for Will from the VW to the Ford Fiesta. And as we said before, there's all sorts here to test our crews: ditches, jumps, blind crests, log piles, hidden rocks in the undergrowth. Matt, this is going to be a real test for our crews. I think it's going to be a matter of be brave, but I think it's that whoever can literally dice on that knife edge between brave and being committed, but also having that cautious little bit of approach in your back pocket as well, because I think damage could be a major issue here.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think those that have just picked their way through.
Well, no. There we go.
There we go. First
Lucky
one.
boy.
Yeah, totally. That's what I'm talking about. You have got to be very careful. He was lucky just to get kicked back onto the stage there by the trees, but could that be a few metres down the road? And that wouldn't have been the case at all. So you've got to keep it neat and tidy. Fortune favours the brave heart. We can say that, can't we? We're in Scotland.
Oh, beautiful. I love
Do you like
the
it?
pun. I think that's
See what I did there?
marvellous. Marvellous, yes. Absolutely marvellous. But here we go. Ooh, here we go off. Oh, he nearly. Oh, he's hit the trees again. It's Rupert Flynn, Matt. Stand well back, Rupert.
Yeah,
and it's
enter stage right, and it's Rupert Flynn.
and it's driving away in one piece. Oh,
Yeah,
lucky lad there. Rupert missing a few bits of bodywork, but plowing on anyway.
Yeah, we saw him in the intro in Spain actually. Like the tyres were blown, he was having a roll with a puncture as well. And here we are in the first stage of Scotland, a few kilometres in.
I'm scared.
And yeah, don't look now, BB. Don't look now. I'll take it from here. It'll be fine.
This is like, I remember our parents saying, "Oh, never watch Doctor Who when the Daleks come out. You've got to hide behind the sofa." This is our equivalent because Rupert is. Oh, as William backs it into the fence there. Come on, guys, you're supposed to be the experts. You're supposed to show us how it's done. Already, the Fiesta's got the bonnet missing, the boot missing for Crichton. But with Eamon Creedon here, we've said before, safe pair of hands. Just bring it back down and see Eamon hopefully safely come through the last part here, Matt.
Yeah, it's a nice calming influence to finally watch somebody just taking the lines, picking it. I think by his own admission he's not going to be the fastest through this 7.2 kilometre test, but he's got through cleanly. Yeah, that's
probably one of the trickiest stages. Happy enough not to make any mistake. Not a great time. Drove a bit like Miss Daisy through that.
Miss Daisy, but at 3:44, solid effort. No damage on the car, no punctures. That's a clean, safe run. I would be very happy if I got a 3:44 anywhere near that. So here we go. Our first look at Di Robertson, Brian Brady. They're coming in thick and fast now. Our crews. Hopefully we'll be getting some extra splits coming through soon so we can see who the movers and shakers are in this very part of Scotland.
Yeah, so 2 stages tonight, 7.2 kilometres this one, Rosebank Farm, and then SS2 is a reversal of this stage, slightly shorter, starts a little bit further up the road, but is it an advantage running a stage in reverse? I don't think so. It looks a very, very different stage the second time through. Once again,
look at Rupert's got some. What? Oh, he's saved it. I was going to say, mate, he's got greens on the board. I mean, this boy is quick, but he needs to just back it off a little bit.
He can be as quick as he likes, but he still needs to get to the end in one piece. So, you know, he has got to just tone it down a little bit. I genuinely think tonight, at least, I think just getting through the first couple of pairs of stages will be really important for these guys before they head into service. Clean approach. That's the way to go.
Absolutely, and do let us know. Do comment below. Let us know who you're backing. Who do you think will win? Who's performing the most spectacularly? Who's giving you the greatest entertainment? So do let us know below as William Crichton breaks the beam.
Literally.
Yeah, literally breaks the beam.
I ruled pretty early on, so the car's pretty battered, and yeah, it made it quite difficult for the rest of the stage. But try and get through the next one here and get it patched up back in service.
Yeah, it looks pretty battered, but just look in your rearview mirrors as Rupert Flynn. Oh, what? Not a bad time considering the offs there.
How can he do that? Yeah, that's amazing time from Rupert. Very impressive indeed.
As we get Peter Jackson into the first stage, he's only a little bit of time down, and Matt Edwards, our reigning double British rally champion in the real world, gets us underway. And if you've been following him on Twitch or on YouTube or on his Facebook, you'll see he's been attacking these stages and of course his home Welsh ones on DiRT Rally 2.0 with much vengeance. So we look forward to seeing how the old champ gets on, and he's looking nice and clean so far.
Yeah, overdue a win is Matt Edwards in my eyes. Third in Wales. 4th in Spain, but 2nd in Germany the last round. Will Scotland be his? As you say, he's been practicing a lot in Scotland, not necessarily in the R5 Fiesta, but practicing the stages that he's been doing on Dirt Rally 2.0. So I could see some good times coming from that.
Here we go, first split. Oh yes! Just over 2 seconds from the champ. He's looking pretty hungry. I think the bit is between his teeth now. He can't let Morgan get the clean sweep, and I'm sure Matt Edwards, Josh McElhain, James Williams, Richard Crozier will also be in the same boat as Di Roberts.
Just through the first one, clipped a load of rocks on a don't cut, stupid mistake, caught a puncture, drove the last K.5 on a front puncture. Not the greatest, but we'll keep going.
As Di Roberts rips the timing beam, but as a co-driver yourself, you should listen to the notes, Di. You're the one that notes them down, the don't cut, you should be listening. But great to see Di back in action, fairly clean, solid time. I think he'll be wanting more, but of course there's another stage tonight for him to get his teeth into. As Brian Brady goes provisionally top, beating his co-driver in real life. Talking of drivers and co-drivers in real life, we just spoke about Di Roberts. And our first look at James Williams, our first split. Ooh, this is going to be close. Here we go. The roulette wheel starts. He's only 7/10 of a second down. This is it, Matt. Here we go.
Getting quicker and quicker as the competition progresses, actually, James. He's certainly been one to watch over the last couple of rounds, that's for sure. You know, he's got some tough opposition out here, though. As I say, Matt has been very clean and tidy so far throughout these stages. There are some good cuts to be had in here, just like that one that he took then, which do save you a bit of time. But you have to make sure you're back in the road by the time you need to do that braking, because otherwise you could find yourself off. That's a good split from Matt.
You can see why he's a champion. 6 seconds up already, but of course we've got a few more drivers to head on in as Peter Jackson comes through. Good solid time from Peter.
It's a good time.
Clean first stage, looking to improve on the next one.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, absolutely, but have a listen to this, Matt. Richard Crozier, he's waiting and he's talking Italian.
There's a song there.
There is a song somewhere. Richard is dialing in more languages into his impressive repertoire. A man he's got lots of skills in the old locker, and he's now learning Italian. Let's see if it will make any difference. That sort of fast-paced language, that aggressive tone. See if that will help him on the old timesheets. As James Williams has already got a bit of body damage. That's unlike James.
Yeah, just out a shot of us, so we'll have to wait to the stage end to find out exactly where he's got that damage from. Is this going to be Matt's to have?
Whoa!
Good time from Matt.
Carried some good speed in most of the places, backed off on one or two that got a bit hairy, but really good start to the event, and enjoy Scotland, so hoping for some good pace on the next one.
Well, he doesn't show any emotion, he's focused, but what a time. What a time there. So
he'll be happy with that. He will be happy with that inside.
He will be, but he'll be refreshing like us to see the times, to see Josh McElhain, James Williams, and of course James Morgan behind him. We haven't seen James, but we've got our first look at Josh. Another man over due a win, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. Again, he's been on that podium numerous times throughout the EBRC. He is more than overdue to win. But just nobody can get the handle on James Morgan, can they? He's got that Mirage absolutely dialed in to whatever surface, to whatever event, to whatever setup he needs. He's just got it nailed every time.
You just think when there's a little chink in the armour, all of a sudden he just repatches it up and goes again. As we've got our final corner for James Williams. Where can he put himself? Goes to the second.
We had a little collision with a log pile halfway through, which is a bit disappointing, but otherwise, considering the practice we've had, pretty good. So moving on to the stage 2, and hopefully we can have a clean one.
James looking a bit red there, so whether he's trying that hard or he's been sat out in the sun, I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but good to have him back, enjoying this and getting into a good scrap. As we see James Morgan, the mighty James Morgan, into the stage for the first time. Matt, can the Welshman do it here in Scotland?
He just needs some points, to be honest. The pressure is, I wouldn't say the pressure's on him at all. He can actually afford to relax a bit. If he just secures himself a handful of points, that will be enough to take the EBRC title. So, you know, they got, like Josh here that we're seeing here, they've got to really put the pressure onto James and probably force his hand, make him have a mistake. And you've got to watch those two little rocks there. They can catch you out quite easily on the inside.
We're using notes in different language for the first time on this event, just for my own learning and development, and not all of it's going in. So I'm being a wee bit timid in some of the fast places.
These Codemasters superheroes, aren't they, Matt? If you look at James Morgan at the front, Richard Crozier is learning multiple languages, and still the time's pretty impressive as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I could just about order a beer in Spanish, I think, let alone listening to some Italian co-driver calls. That's fairly impressive work from Richard Crozier. Well done for the time as well. That's not bad at all.
It's massively impressive here, considering how, I mean, if you've played the game, if you've played DiRT Rally 2.0, you will know how quickly Phil Mills spits these notes out. And in Italian, it's another little notch more.
Yeah, definitely.
As Josh McAlane comes through the timing beam. Ooh, good time.
Yeah, we're relieved to get through the first one, but it was quite messy in a few places, so yeah, we have to keep it on the road for this one and get through the rally.
So we've got Matt sitting not very pretty at the top, but we've got a nice little gaggle of Josh McAlane, Richard Crozier, James Williams, all within a handful of seconds of each other. But of course we have got one man to go. He's won in Wales, he won in Spain, and he won in Germany. Can he do it here? That Mirage is looking, it's just a polished performance from Morgan every single corner. Never puts, I don't want to jinx it, I will end it shortly, but he's looking, every little crest, every little cut is absolutely bang on the money.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, just looking at those times though, that's probably the biggest gap that we've seen from first to second so far in this whole competition, 6.6 seconds.
Oh, 1.3, Matt Edwards. He leads.
Stage number 1 done. Not a very comfortable start. I went off on the first corner, so it took me about half a stage to get into that one, but then should be okay for the next one.
Should be okay for the next one. He, of course, will be happy that he's got through safely and soundly. There you go, 1.3 seconds behind. So Matt Edwards, our double British Rally champion real life, leads after SS1 here in Scotland, and it is as close as battles all the way throughout the field. Matt, who's impressing you here?
Well, I was just going to say, I think Matt Edwards' time is fantastic. It's a really good start to his Scotland event, but I am just seeing some larger gaps there. I know it's close after third. There's some bigger gaps opening up, so that just goes to show the difference here in Scotland when it's this fast, this super quick. If you're dialed in right and you're inch perfect, that is where the times tumble. And clearly it worked superbly for Matt Edwards. SS2 kicks off once again with Eamon Creedon in this beautiful sounding 2:08. He had a clean run through SS1. He was pleased with it. Not a bad time for Eamon as well, but I'm sure he'll just want to get to the end of this one. A reverse run of SS1, but as I said before, I'm not sure that will help these guys too much. Still a very tricky stage to start with.
Absolutely. And what you've learned in that first stage, you've got to completely get that out of your mindset and go again. So Eamon, I think he pushes on when he can, and he's, you know what, he's been chipping away at the old results. I think a top 5's on the cards. You know, if it all plays into his hands and, you know, drama sort of unfolds in front of him. I jinxed it, Matt.
You've done it again.
Up the bank we go, and low. Bit of a stub nose now on the 208 T16, Matt. That's not going in your collection after this.
Well,
so
no, but it looks like them that's already there, I think, to be honest. I mean, look.
Oh well, come on. Hopefully not too much damage. Just a few seconds drop there for Eamon, and already William Crichton in hot pursuit.
Yeah, it's very difficult. There are some big cuts to be had in Scotland, like many of the events in DiRT Rally 2.0, but not all of them work. And I think Eamon probably found one of the ones on this stage that definitely does not. He's got to be careful just a little bit further up this stage as well, just before it starts getting very, very quick. There's some big rocks on the inside. Phil does tell you about them, but he tells you late. You've got to be very, very careful not to clip those on the inside. It'll be interesting to see if these guys know not to turn in too early on that left-hander.
Yeah, William looking very slightly battered Fiesta now, but keeping it very much a gingerly approach here, Matt, which is very safe. You want to get to the end. There is a service before we go into the 2 stages tomorrow, so yeah. I think he just wanted to claw some of that time back and try and put himself back into that top 10.
Yeah, definitely longer stages to stand well back, everybody. Stand well back.
Sorry, I'm hiding behind the sofa again.
Rupert Flynn's into the stage. Can't make up his mind if he wants to grab a gear or not. But yeah, we saw him in SS1. It was.
There was a slight impact.
Oh, there he goes.
He's on the roof again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've lost count.
And that
he's back on.
Yeah,
and that's why, Matt. And that's why
we do not stand in box junctions.
Exactly. It's all taped off for a reason. So here is a life lesson here. Rupert Flynn just testing the old marshals and their taping skills of the box junction. That's why we go nowhere near as a car can do that. So Rupert back on 4 wheels again, and I mean it's another life down for Rupert. If he started with 9, I think he's down to about 4 or 5 now.
Yeah, how calm and serene does Will Crichton look in comparison to Rupert Flynn? It's poetry in motion in comparison.
It's beautiful, but you know, I think this is the one where actually you don't need to be quickest. Will is still fairly green to the old esports action, as DiRT's got a puncture.
Starting on a puncture. Did he not take a spare, BB?
Yes, he did mention it, but I didn't realise he hasn't got a spare, so there we go. He's having to limp through here. Front right puncture for Di. Hopefully not going to lose too much time as we right back on board with Rupert. Here we go. Yeah! Grabbing gears, the soaring away at the wheel.
Edge of
Man
the
on a
seat
mission.
stuff.
We love the entertainment. This is what it's all about. And Di, to be fair, he's putting on a fair lick considering he's got a puncture. Oh, here we go. That's where he's going to struggle now. The old left-handers.
So hard, BB. I mean, you notice that. I think we've all driven a stage or two on a puncture before. It's not easy at all. Those seconds just seem to feel like minutes when you're hemorrhaging them in these stages. But Di just needs to keep his head and work his way through. And you can tell, can't you? Just looking at Will, he's just picking his way through these log piles. Just probably doesn't have the practice that the other guys do. Of course, he did not compete on the opening round in Wales, so playing catch up a little bit.
Or Spain either, so Germany was his first go. So
fair play.
You know, fair play to him. Oh no, it's Eamon Creedon. Let's listen to that.
Is that a puncture?
Yeah, you can hear the rattling rim on the gravel. It's a puncture, but he does make it safely.
We got a puncture about a kilometre into that one. Limped through the stage. Should have listened to my co-driver.
Oh, as a co-driver yourself, Eamon, come on. What is it that these co-drivers sort of ignoring their own advice? But his driver in real life, Brian Brady, was looking really good, and he's not got a mark on that polo, so Brian's looking pretty handy here as well.
Yeah, good performance from Brian through SS1, so he'll want to consolidate.
I'm still scared, Matt.
Every time we switch to Rupert Flynn, I just hold the microphone a little bit harder.
He's got to dial it back. He's got to. Matt, have a word with him.
And
Let's get Alex Waterman, EDSL team principal. Let's get him to have a word, have a bit of a chat.
Didn't put too much more damage in the car and managed to stay away from most of the logs. So yeah, get back to service, and yeah, the boys have got a lot of work.
Great effort, William. But yeah, we'll have to get a word out to Rupert for tomorrow. He needs to just cool his jets, calm it down a little bit.
Yeah,
we don't want to see. We want to see a Fiesta at the end of it, not a ball.
Definitely, he's not going to last very long. The 2 stages tomorrow night, incidentally, 13 kilometres and 12.6 kilometres, almost double. They are huge, and to keep the concentration up is mega. And also, you can't afford to have punctures in those stages. So Rupert is going to have.
Oh, he's on the roof again. How does he hold these?
I don't know. And let's look at his time. I mean, it's going to be. And he's still.
Managed to get quite a good rhythm, but towards the end I slightly lost my way. Rolled it. It's pretty good considering I never made it that far in testing.
you rolled it once, Rupert. I mean, I think there wasn't a moment where it was all 4 wheels on the deck. But fair play to the lad. Fair play. Look at that time.
And he mentions a good rhythm. I want to know which part of that stage he had it on.
I'd hate to think when all 4 wheels are on the deck and the thing's clean, how quick he can be.
Indeed.
Because he is a quick little lad. He just needs to just back it off a little bit because the time is... Brian Brady just snagging a rock pile. He's managed to get it in. How's the car looking? Yeah, not too bad. Thankfully, he's got away with that one.
Yeah, that's the thing with this Scotland. There's some mega fast bits. I mean, we're talking sort of on the limiter in 5th. And then all of a sudden you're thrown into just a couple of sections through some log piles, some rocks. And if you're not inch perfect, then you can get really carried away. Here's one of them here.
Absolutely, they're just everywhere, lines across the route. As Peter Jackson punching in some greens, he's looking really good, controlled. There's Di Roberts, look at him hustle that car despite the puncture.
That's a real good effort from
He
Di.
breaks the beam now.
Wow.
Not bad at all.
Well done, Di. Impressive work. That is good with the puncture, just 18 seconds down on Rupert Flynn. It'd be interesting to see what Peter Jackson's time is like, though. He is our furthest running green split contender in SS2 so far.
Absolutely. As we get to the business end now, these guys, in theory, they've been joining us for every round. But let's see.
Good start there, but we ended up on a pile of logs on the last split. Had to get a reset onto it, so not a good time through there.
60, early for left, 70,
a few mishaps there for Brian, but a good time as we see our rally leader. Let's see him make light work of this. Thick and fast now, Matt Richard Crozier also into the stage. We saw James Williams as well. This is where the unpredictability starts. Who is going to lead overnight after SS2 going into the action tomorrow? Matt, I'm gonna ask you for now a name. Who is going to do it?
I think just simply on SS1 performance, this is Matt Edwards' rally. I know he likes Scotland. I've got it in for Matt. I think it's Matt. He's only 1.2 seconds ahead of James Morgan, though. That said, so he has got some work to do. And just judging by that green split there, nearly 10 seconds up on our quickest competitor so far.
It's huge. He's looking very measured, very much in control. As is this man, like a very safe pair of hands. Richard Crozier, he's done very well on the tarmac as he spits out the Italian. Here he goes.
Yeah, I understood every single word of that.
Absolutely.
I think
he's only at just about a second down. So
I think he said flat everywhere.
Pretty much. I think talking of flat, just everything just looks like poetry with Matt. He was a little bit despondent, I think, after the first the 2 tarmac rounds in the middle, but now we're back on the gravel. Good, big time there, big time.
Yeah, good clean run, no problems. Happy with the progress so far.
So you should be. That's 28.7 seconds in front of Brian Brady currently. But of course we have got Crozier, Williams, McElwain and Morgan still to come. But a very good time. I think Matt has done himself. He's ticked every box. I think it's all in everyone else's hands now. The pressure is on. They can see the splits, these guys, as they come into the stage. See how far behind or in front they will be of Matt Edwards.
Yeah, Richard just a couple of seconds down on Matt's time so far. I think he'll want to be improving that, but by his own admission, I don't think he's going to do that with an Italian co-driver as well. He's got a lot to process. But James just looking a little ragged here as we're heading towards the end of the stage.
Oh, he's on the bobsleigh rut and he managed to fire it out across the line.
The car had a little bit
time.
more damage on it than I thought in stage 1, so every left-hand corner we struggled, but pretty good stage. Otherwise, a couple of clips with the logs, but good fun.
Really good time. Oh, it's James Morgan. He's not perfect. Matt, this is the moment.
And we have it in proof. We have it on the camera. James Morgan is not perfect. You see it here.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully that's not going to dent his progress too much, as Josh McElwain is also on the money on the timesheet, roughly a second away from Matt's time. These guys, these 4 competitors at the front are really, really quick and pushing each other on. Now let's see if Morgan can dust himself off. There you go, 3.7 seconds down to Matt on that first split spin. Let's see what can happen over the next couple of kilometres for the Welshman. It's going to be a real crescendo as we head into the final part of SS2 here this evening.
It is. Once you get past these log piles, it's a very fast run down to the finish. We saw James Williams almost succumbing to one of the fastest corners as you head down towards the flying finish. This one here, you can just get sucked into that ditch. Yeah, really difficult. But Richard Crozier crossing the line. Ooh, long way down for Richard.
Lost a lot of time there. We need to do our homework and service and see if we can raise the right heights and try and claw back some of the time lost to James.
Interesting.
I think Richard's a bit disappointed there.
Yeah.
I think, he's trying to do the Italian, but also these are his home stages. The Scotsman was hoping for a good showing here, but here, still early days. We've got another 2 stages tomorrow, some 2 biggies to really get your teeth into.
Yeah.
So James Morgan, some big cuts. He is pushing that Mirage to the nth degree, as Josh McElwain as well, another man who could create a bit of havoc on the podium positions. Oh, big send there from the Irishman.
Yeah, he's probably the only man that can take the win to the championship to James Morgan. He's going to need more than that.
Yeah, it's good to get through the opening loop. We lost a little time in the middle of that one. Maybe we weren't committed enough in places, but yeah, in the service now with 2 tricky stages ahead.
Talking of commitment, we saw the glowing brake discs there of James Morgan. Big air, big cuts. I think he's the cat amongst the pigeons, as Matt has taken the SS1 lead. James will want to take another overnight lead in this PC Specialist Esports Invitational. He's searching for every inch, dodging the rock piles, the logs.
That is so very, very quick. If you know that section on Dirt Rally 2.0, you know how fast he's actually going. 170 odd kilometres an hour, heading down to the finish.
The last 100 metres, here we go.
Has he done enough?
No, 1.9.
Not going particularly well for me at the moment. I was expecting a lot more ruts, so I think I need to change my car setup. I had a spin at the start of that stage after reverse, and need to change my car, have it in service and have another go in the next 2.
He's always really chilled, very quiet, very softly spoken. James Morgan is a great co-driver, great competitor on the old esports, but you could see there a little bit of disappointment.
Yeah.
Because he's used to being on top. He's not used to having to come back and go and fight. So, I tell you what, Seb Scott and John Armstrong tomorrow evening are going to have plenty to talk about. We've got 2 massive tests, 2 stages to decide not only the Scotland Rally win, but of course the championship as well. But so far, so good for James in the championship as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually quite pleased that I can sit back tomorrow night and actually watch the action unfold in front of me and not have to commentate on it, to be honest. It's going to be mega exciting. The pressure is definitely on James Morgan tomorrow night. Josh McElwain, the only man that can probably take this championship fight to James Morgan, has at least got to overhaul him tomorrow night on these 2 longer stages, 13 kilometres and 12.6 tomorrow with Seb and John. It's going to be mega big.
Absolutely. We saw there also fight for the podium as well. Points at 0.6 of a second between McElwain and James Williams. So not only has he got to look ahead, but he's got to look behind him as well. So we've got all that to look forward to tomorrow. And yeah, we can put our feet up. We've done the hard bit now, Matt. We've introduced the first leg of Scotland, and now we can sit back and watch the final 2 stages, and of course the final event of the PC Specialist BRC Esports Invitational Series. We hope you've enjoyed this. We really have enjoyed bringing it to your screens. But here you can take part as well. Don't feel this is like the end of it. You can take part as well. So the EBRC is running side by side in parallel with the Esports Invitational Series. So using the same stages, the same conditions, you can have a go too. So you'll be using the Ford Fiesta R2T. And if you head to BritishRallyChampionship.co.uk, register today. Got a couple more days left to get your registrations in. Come and have a go, because the overall champion, which is an amazing fight already bubbling and boiling away, the overall champion will get to test a real life Ford Fiesta R2T. Great prizes, great competition. This really has lived up to it, Matt. Can Matt Edwards do it tomorrow?
I'd like to think so. I said earlier I would like to see Matt take a win here. I think he deserves it. He had a really good Rally Germany. He's been on the up through every single round as well. So I would like to see him on the top of the leaderboard tomorrow night. But as we know in the EBRC Invitational, as we know in the British Rally Championship itself, anything can happen.
Absolutely. So don't go away. Do join Seb Scott and John Armstrong for the conclusion of Rally Scotland, the final 2 stages, but also the conclusion for the PC Specialist BRC Esports Invitational Series. On behalf of Matt and I, we hope you've enjoyed the action this evening, and do come back tomorrow, same time, same place. We're going to do it all over again. The finale comes tomorrow.